guys, Logan here, and today I'm here to give you guys my review for a movie I went to see earlier today, Ready Player One, directed by Steven Spielberg, the one and only Steven Spielberg, and it's based on a novel of the same name by Ernest Cline, I believe is his name. It's about a young man named Wade Watts, being in Columbus, Ohio in the year 2045, where the entire world fell into chaos and destruction amongst many people who protest instead of solving problems, and he was wanting to do nothing more than to enter the OASIS where he feels like he means anything by being what he wants to be and who he wants to be. Now he learns from James Holliday, played by Mark Rylance, about him having an Easter egg and having to find 3 really important keys to unlock the gate to the Easter egg that a Holiday has laid in store for all the OASIS players to find and uncovered. Believe it or not, I was really excited for this movie going into it. It was in my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2018 list. And it's my number 5th most anticipated one so far this year. And did this film live up to my expectations as well as everybody else's expectations? I would say yeah, at least to mine. Now the young guy who played Wade Watts, I believe his name was Ty Sheridan. I might have messed up his name, and if I did, then I apologize. But he did a good job, as well as Olivia Cook, who basically was like his partner, especially in the second half of the movie. And the main guy, I believe his name was Ben Mendelsohn. He's the guy from Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. And he made a very good performance as like the main antagonist of this movie, playing like this, very well-known CEO of like this whole company called IOI, or that's how they're called. Simon Pegg, J.T. Miller, Mark Rylance as James Holliday. He was very good. You really don't know much about James Holliday right until the movie progressed, and you started to know more and more as the movie went on, just partially through Ty Sheridan's narration at the beginning of the movie. One thing I was really looking forward to seeing this movie, just based on the trailers as well as the marketing for this film, is the fact that this film had a lot of pop culture references that a lot of us nerds, yes, that's right, I am a nerd, as some of you might not notice, I really like nerdy stuff. I am a nerd for a lot of things. Sci-fi, action, all that other stuff. I'm just a nerd for all those things, no matter if they are movies or TV shows or whatever. And the nerd inside of me was very pleased to be thoroughly entertained by this movie, not just because of the pop culture references that were put in this movie, which by the way were done very well. They weren't just there to make you go like, oh, I understood that reference, oh, I understood this reference, oh, I understand these references. I know all of these. They're awesome. It's not like that. There is a purpose for at least most of the pop culture references being in this movie. And once you see the movie for yourself, you can totally see why they are there. They are there for not just for the nerds like myself to see in this movie, but for the compelling story that most of these pop culture references are a part of and why they are a part of it. And that, I thought Steven Spielberg pulled it off. I never thought he would do that, but he did. So I applaud to you, Steven Spielberg, for doing that. The action in this film was very exhilarating and just thoroughly entertaining to watch. I don't think I've ever been this thoroughly entertained by a Steven Spielberg film probably in a long time. This was the most thoroughly entertaining Steven Spielberg movie I think I've ever seen. I mean, there were some entertaining films that he has directed that they looked entertaining, but I'm talking about just being thoroughly entertained by the action sequences as well as the compelling story that they have taken place with. The humor, for the most part, was done very well, at least 75% of the time. I did find myself laughing pretty much a few times, I would say. There was one scene, which I will not spoil for those who have not yet seen it, that has something to do with Chucky. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it there. Just that scene with Chucky, oh my god, I busted out laughing. It was hilarious, as well as a few other scenes that were very hilarious. I find this movie to be very compelling in terms of storytelling and the CGI, which by the way looked fantastic. Even though you can kind of tell that they look kind of CGI, you just got to admit how fantastic it looked. The only nitpicking issues I have with this movie is that there were like a couple of scenes that kind of lasted a little bit too long. Some of them in the second act of the movie as well as the third act of the movie. Just a couple or more that went on a little bit too long for me. That's just about it though. Beyond that, this movie was fantastic on many levels. The action, which was exhilarating, and the story, which was very compelling, and the CGI, which looked fantastic, and the characters that you really cared for and understand where they're coming from. And for many reasons alone for why I love this movie and thought it's one of the best films of the year so far, I am going to give Ready Player One a gold Medal of Honor. Just a couple of scenes in the second and third acts of the movie really prevented me from giving this film a Platinum Medal of Honor. But beyond that, I basically loved everything else about this movie. It was fantastic. Very entertaining. I highly recommend seeing it in theaters. And that's about it. Anyway, guys, that is my review for Ready Player One. If you have not done it yet, make sure you go watch my whole series of Steven Spielberg movie reviews that I have led up to Ready Player One. You know, leading up to Ready Player One. I have reviewed like probably 8 Steven Spielberg films, from Jaws to Bridge of Spies. So please go watch my whole series of Spielberg reviews. And then, that's about it, I guess. So just watch my whole Steven Spielberg series. I had a ton of fun making those reviews for you guys. If you guys enjoyed my review for Ready Player One, please click the like button and comment down below if you have seen this movie and let me know what you think of it. If you enjoyed what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please press up there to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight.